Alrighty, folks, welcome on back to Valkyria Chronicles 4. At the end of the last episode, we completed the Battle of Fort Crest, and now we are going to watch the remaining videos and see what else might be going on. I do believe I have also fixed the sound.
So this is the 21-centimeter howitzer.
So we'll have to see.
Or what's left of it anyway.
So much for surrendering.
Denying us this scrap metal cost them their lives.
They chose death before dishonor.
Everyone who goes to war knows they might die. But if I was in their shoes, I don't think I could pull the trigger. We're not fighting to die. We're fighting to live. These men died for their country, and I respect that. Still.
Yeah. Weapons can be replaced. Lives can't. But speaking of weapons...
How about those new guns the reinforcements were carrying?
For being portable, it sure packed a wallop. Big things really do come in small packages.
It's got state-of-the-art tech with the range of a tank!
Never seen one of these beauties? And I thought you were supposed to be the cream of the crop.
That was interesting. Yeah.
Huh?
It's called a mortar. A magic wand that grants every soldier's wish. Awesome, right?
You seeing this? Isn't that...
Isn't that... Who? What? Oh, that's not fair. Wait, did we watch the... Was that part of... I think so. Yeah, let's keep going. It wouldn't do that if it didn't show us.
Say, who's in charge of this squad? Gotta say, I'm impressed at how quickly they were able to change their tactics on the fly.
Well...
Wait, Raz? What are you doing in the Edinburgh army?
We enlisted together to protect Gallia.
No way! Lena? Small world, huh?
Wait, really?
Oh, sorry. I'm going by Kai now.
Wait, Kai? But that's your...
Riley.
I don't really get it, but okay. I'll call you Kai. Anyway, it's so amazing to see you. What are the odds of seeing old friends in a foreign war zone?
Beats me. How'd you end up in joint operations anyway?
Since you asked so nicely. I'm Lieutenant Riley Miller. After majoring in Ragnite Engineering, the Army brought me on as an artillery advisor. I've been temporarily transferred from the field artillery team for this joint operation. As long as I'm here, I'll provide the fire support you need to take down the Empire. My knowledge is your power.
Just what our squad needed. We appreciate the support, Riley.
So, where's the commander? I wanted to introduce myself.
About that. It's not just us two in this squad.
Huh? You mean Kai's here after all, or...?
Riley, I'm the commander of Squad E.
Oh, you're pretty young for an officer. But I was impressed out there. My knowledge is your... Claude Wallace. Is that all you have to say?
I want to know what happened.
I can't believe I took orders from this coward. Screw that!
Well...
I love how the whole squad just basically is like, aw, man.
Chapter 2, The Liberation of Rain.
All right.
Good news, Claude. HQ has awarded you with a medal.
Thank you, Minerva. What do we get? We got the Combat Medic Medal. Received Support Belt. Okay.
For meritorious action in capturing Fort Crest. You've earned this medal. It's a good start.
Victory at Crest, huh?
Listen up, everyone. I'd like to introduce a new member of Squad E.
Connor Doherty. I'm writing a book. A war story. Non-fiction. It's good to meet you.
You too, Connor. Welcome to the squad.
Ryan Ford, mercenary. You pay, I shoot.
Hi, Ryan. I like your hair. Claude has awoken a new potential, self-conscious. Oh, that sounds great. Your soldiers' preferences have changed. Obtained a decal for the Hafen Learner's Permit. Yet, I still can't do anything with any of those. So let's just keep going with the story.
Two months since the start of Operation Northern Cross. The Federation's elite forces, Squad E among them, were driving back the Empire, one victory at a time. Yet, the further they cut into Imperial territory, the more tenuous the supply chain. And so the Federation Army established a series of massive outposts along the front line. Among them, Lindbergh Base. Commanded by the 101st Division, this outpost would prove itself a vital logistics hub in the battles to come.
No excerpt from or anything? Alright. Well, let's keep going. Eventually, they'll introduce us to HQ.
Wow. This is our new base? It's incredible!
Apparently, these facilities can accommodate over 3,000 soldiers and 100 tanks. On top of that, they have enough food, fuel, and ammo to supply every squad on the front line.
Impressive.
More like a dream come true. If I didn't know better, I'd think we were still in Federation territory.
Guess the brass can get stuff done, when they actually try. What's the deal, though? They got all these resources and we're still stuck with one busted-ass tank?
Excuse me? Our squad takes excellent care of the Hafen.
I have to admit, this really puts the scope of our mission into perspective.
Hell yeah. With this much heat, the imps are gonna feel the burn.
No, we've barely seen the tip of the iceberg. Even all this might not be enough.
Oh, you think? Way to rain on our parade, Commander.
No problem.
Hey, who's that? They got some weird get-ups.
Oh, those are Navy uniforms. That's a surprise.
What are naval troops doing this far inland?
That was my question.
Well, I salute them for swimming all the way here. Whoa! Check out the ass on that one! I'd swab her deck.
Raz.
Hold up, Raz.
I'm just gonna say hi. Break the ice, you know?
Yeah, because that's going to work.
He's hopeless.
I just hope he doesn't get into trouble.
Oh, he's probably getting in trouble.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah. Anyway, we still have some time before the meeting. I'm gonna go take a look around.
Does this mean we get access to HQ now? Oh, thank you. All right, so I can go to choose squad members, change their equipment, train soldiers to improve their combat efficiency, upgrade equipment and develop new weaponry, or return to book mode. First off, let's go through the squad.
So this is the command center. I guess our deployment's going to change depending on the demands of the mission.
More than likely.
I'll need the right balance of combat specialties. I should go over the pros and cons of every one. First things first, I'll look over the squad as a whole.
Oh, great. Enter the command room to switch active teammates and change their equipment. When you want to try out a new unit, select Squad Setup to access them. Optimize your squad by managing their combat classes and the squaddies each soldier likes. Okay. Okay, so I do have some reserves. What? Oh, that's nice. Taking interception fire raises her defenses. Being under the eyes of many enemies makes her anxious, lowering her defenses. And seeing out of the Iron Mask is difficult, lowering her accuracy. Interesting. I do have a second... Well, I don't know if I have a second Grenadier yet or not. Let's see here. Nope, I only have Riley currently. I do have 3 snipers, though. Okay, let's see here. No, that's actually not a bad combination. So let's add
I
Connor.
can write about this.
He's got... When his HP falls below half, he feels the thrill creative perspective, accuracy, and defense increase. Occasionally decreases anti-tank attack power, though he insists it's all for the sake of war experience. Okay. An unpopular author. The only thing worse than writer's block is criticism. When his AP falls below half, his defense decreases. Alright. As for equipment, change equipment by issuing combat gear to infantry and installing parts onto tanks. Customize the loadouts of soldiers and vehicles to suit your strategy. Oh, I thought there was going to be more. So, Claude, can we change any of this? No, not currently. What about Curtis? Okay, we don't have anything extra there. And no extra light armor. Haha! Standard issue military hat plus 10 hit points. Belt for stabilizing, 3 dodge, 1 defense. Bullets made with armor piercing capabilities plus 3 aim plus 3 versus armor. Okay. Interesting. Millennial is not active. Alright, let's give Raz the capped bullets. That extra aim should be useful. Yeah, that extra aim should definitely be useful. Let's give... Let's see here. Who am I going to use up here? Can I give you something down here? Now the question is, does it actually do anything? No, because Claude's in a tank. Okay. So... Let's see here. Scavenger, lone work, wolf, social anxiety, true friend, nature lover, overbearing sister. Gambler, fancies, debtor, neat freak, fighting, pacifist. Clumsy biology, dissection. What is early bird? Whoops. Acting before anybody else increases her accuracy. Klutz is remembering to load ammo into her weapon, sometimes completely slips her mind. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Increases effectiveness of Radnade. Taking repeated actions increases her accuracy. Being near a man reminds her of her husband. And AP falling below half causes her evasion to decrease. Great. Most of these people are awesome. Having Lorette nearby encourages him, boosting his attack power. Having Elaine nearby, or Eileen, is a distraction that causes drop in accuracy. Boost in defense. Okay, so you like Laurent. Do we have Laurent? Yes. Okay, so you and Laurent are friends. And he likes Eileen. Of course. All right. So, back up here. We were with what? Nico? No. Curtis. Alright, I'm going to give you the military hat, giving you just a little bit more hit points. And then... let's give Jimmy the support belt, giving him some extra dodge and extra defense. Alright, now, for tank parts, we have the antimatter, the mortar, and the brown, which I can't change. We don't have any parts. Each optional part has a size associated with it, such as 2x1. Vehicles have a limited amount of space, so keep part size and placement in mind. Yeah, part size is fun. Change camo. Huh, that'll be fun. And the decal. I have a ranger's emblem and a learner's permit, which we've got accuracy and defense. I'm going to go with accuracy. Okay, so that's the command room in the squad.
That should do it for now. Preparation's a vital part of any battle. I get the feeling I'll be spending a lot of time in here.
Probably not as much as you think. Although some. Now, the training field. We get another tutorial.
There you are, Claude. I've been charged with Squad E's training. As ranking lieutenant, I'll be giving strict instruction to each combat class. The experience you gain in the field goes towards refining our abilities. I want to see growth from all combat classes.
Okay.
Each time a class makes a breakthrough, every squad member of that class will show improvement.
Training field. Spend experience at the training field to level up the different classes. Leveling up a class will strengthen all of the squad members of that class. Using experience to maintain a training routine will help Squad E be all that they can be. Okay.
Now show me what you're made of.
So, if I level up the scouts, it's going to take 390 to get to the next level. I'll also get lancers to get the battle potential. So that means that we're getting an order. Can we do everybody? Because that would be awesome. I think so. Awesome. And I can't keep going until I allocate this. Oh, never mind.
Come now, is that the best you can do?
For now. Considering I can only do one level at a time, yes.
You've leveled up, so to speak. Good work. Look at that. The Lancers have awakened to a new potential. Your troops have crossed a threshold today. You're cleared to learn a new order.
What do we get? Evade boost. Okay. All right. Do we want more orders? Or do we want the 2 battle potentials? I think I want the 2 battle potentials. And then we'll put a little bit in.
Come now, is that the best?
Shush. She's going to say that a lot, so I don't feel bad skipping it.
You've leveled up, so to speak. Good work. Well, well. Your shock troopers have found a new potential.
Thank you. So have the Grenadiers.
I see the Grenadiers have discovered new potential.
All right, so the Grenadiers, as you can see, we got observation, which is sighting multiple enemies at a time increases accuracy. We got that for both Connor and Riley. And then we also got safe, not sorry. Being in an enemy's line increases their defense. When near a tank, heightened accuracy. Ragnate is occasionally increased. Again, safe, not sorry. Boost versus armor. Their attack power against tanks occasionally gains a slight boost. Awesome. Now what do we got here? We've got first aid boost. Boost versus personal, which is going to be against infantry. Undercover is crouching increases accuracy. Melee skills. Evasion is improved when enemy is nearby. Boost versus personal, and melee skills. Okay. All right, cool. That's awesome. Now we can go to R&D.
You've proven you have what it takes. Try taking those lessons to the battlefield, and come back when you're ready.
That's the plan.
Yes. Let me tell you about potentials and orders. When combat classes rise in level, sometimes the soldiers show new potentials, or you might gain access to new orders. You could say potentials show your soldiers' traits and tendencies, or at least how they manifest in battle. Orders are commands that you alone can issue in combat, either to individual soldiers or your squad as a whole. The thing about orders, actually, maybe you'd learn better through practice. Use your orders judiciously and you can tip the scales. Watch the flow of battle and command with discretion. That's all from me. I expect nothing but the best out of you and Squad E.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the defense boost order. We are going to use that eventually.
Whoa, Claude! Look at all these weapon parts! The perks of working in a Federation forward operating base, huh? We can develop new weapons here. If there's anything you ever want to upgrade, just give me a holler. Tank armaments, infantry weapons, anything. We'll build all kinds of new weapons and make our team even stronger.
Thanks, Miles. Research and development armaments for infantry and tanks by spending DCT. New armaments unlock as the game progresses, so check into R&D often. Yep, every time after a battle we come in here. Okay, so we can issue equipment or install tank parts. We can develop equipment or tank parts. Let's look through equipment first, of course. Development equipment to forge new weapons and armor for infantry units. Rifles, machine guns, grenades, and other weapons are mass-produced, so once it's developed, all units can then equip it. Upgrades like firepower or accuracy boost will automatically be applied to soldiers equipping those weapons. Okay, so standard suits. I can get one upgrade, which increases defense of anybody wearing light armor. Let's do it.
Whoa, it turned out great! Hey, let me snap a quick picture before you run off with it.
All right, we also got the trophy First of Many, which is use R&D for the first time. Wait, what was the one right below it? Obtain all infantry weapons? Oh. All right. Next, let's get our heavy armor upgraded.
Whoa, it turned out great! Hey, let me snap a quick picture before you run off with it.
All right, if he says that every time, I'm going to start skipping it. Next, let's get the blast suit.
Wow, a masterpiece! Almost seems like a shame to use it.
Almost. But not quite. All right, so now we're into rifles. Machine guns, anti-tank lances, snipers, and mortars. So there's nothing for mortars or grenades. There's nothing for sniper, nothing for lance. So we've got just the one for machine gun, which increases versus personal and versus armor by 1 each. I'm not sure about accuracy.
Wow, a
All right, I'm going to skip any that we've seen before. And then this increases versus personal by 3 and increases the aim a little bit.
Whoa.
All right, awesome. So that's all those. Let's go into tank parts. Develop tank parts to enhance your vehicles and create optional parts. Weapon and body enhancements focus on cannon and armor strength. All enhancements stack. Treads and other and attack support allow you to develop new optional tank parts. Optional parts take effect once equipped onto the vehicle, so outfit your tank to fit the situation. All right, let's start with treads and other. I don't think we have anything in here. All right, so this would give our AP rounds additional personal and armor damage. This would increase HP, and that gives us a 1x1 bulletproof visor. I cannot get all 3, so let's look through body enhancement. Ah, okay. So the sight upgrade is a 1x1 block. I'm actually going to get that. Okay, we might be able to.
Wow,
It's going to be really, really close. Okay, so as you can see, we choose the bulletproof visor, and then we can move it around wherever we want. It's a little tiny bit like Tetris. And you can see our total accuracy down there. If we remove the bulletproof visor, it would go down to +3. And then I can either do the AP rounds or rivet construction. And since I don't know what we're going up against, we're going to go for defense first.
all done, Claude. What do you think? Cool, right?
Thanks. Now, we are pretty much out of money. Let's issue equipment and make sure that everybody upgraded. I can't change them back? Really? Okay. That's
Kind of
interesting.
exciting, isn't it? Once we're ready, let's come back and make something to strike fear into the Empire.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Oh my gosh, this has almost been an episode in and of itself. Let's go back to book mode. We'll get up to the next battle, and then we'll continue from there. Headquarters. Training and R&D requires experience and DCT for upgrades and weapon development. Visit HQ after gaining experience in combat to prepare for upcoming battles. Access headquarters from the book menu, mode tab, or press triangle to reach the menu. Skirmishes have been added. Skirmishes are fun. Skirmishes are battles that can be waged at any time for experience and DCT. New maps appear as you progress in the story, so use skirmishes to train when main battles become too tough. Access skirmishes from the book mode tab or press triangle to reach the menu. Squad mates killed in action become unavailable in the main story. If they die in skirmish mode, in a skirmish, they're gone. Ooh. Okay. The mess hall has been added. Private quarters, a new skirmish, personnel has been updated, weaponry has been updated, glossary has been updated, news articles have been updated. Holy cow. Okay. So, in skirmishes, we have the Milt outskirts. All right. And in headquarters, yeah, let's go back to HQ real quick. All right, here we go. We've got the mess hall and private quarters. Interact with other squad members. View the encyclopedia and tutorials. Tutorial. Private quarters. Visit your private quarters to view information about the game, which will increase in volume as you progress. Okay. Check the personnel, weaponry, and glossary sections to review info on characters, weapons, and terms. Available information is updated as the game progresses, so check back every once in a while for new entries. Oh my gosh. I do not feel like reading all of these. Okay, they're not going to be that bad. Can I, like, switch between people? No. Okay. Edinburgh Army, First Lieutenant, age 22, Commander of Squad E, from the city of Hafen in Gallia, keenly attuned to changes in climate and weather. Riley. Army Second Lieutenant, age 21, Squad E Grenadier, from the city of Hafen in Gallia. She seems to share some painful history with Claude. I'm guessing that they used to date. Raz is 23. He is he is a sergeant. Idarkson, he is athletic and very capable soldier. Kai is a first sergeant from Hafen, loves fresh baked bread, perhaps more than life itself. Minerva is, let's see here. She's a first lieutenant from Squad F. Appointed senior lieutenant, she holds authority over all other squad commanders. Miles is 20. He's the tank operator. He's got undeniable talent when it comes to piloting and driving a tank. Crystal is 22. She's Squad F scout, one of Minerva's subordinates, and a competent soldier who excels at recon. Karen's our medic. She's age 17, eldest girl of a large family. She's planned on medical school, but enlisted to support her household. Ragnarok is our dog. Squad E rescue dog. Helps in rescuing wounded soldiers. He used to be a stray, but is extremely intelligent and exceptionally brave. Curtis. He is 18. Most believe him to be cold and stoic, but he's really just shy. He has a younger sister named Aileen. Is that Eileen or Eileen? That'd be Eileen. Okay, so Goodwin is 35. He's a battle scavenger, cynical, sarcastic, and prickly to anyone who talks to him, trusts no one. Jester is 43. He's an optimistic man who rolls with the punches. He has weakness for gambling, which has landed him in deep debt. Rosetta, 28. Presents as feminine. Okay. Birth name is Rossano, fights to end war and combat anti-Darkson discrimination. Teresa is age 19, a med school student who strives to become a doctor, very intelligent with serious, studious personality. Nico is 16, an earnest, hardworking girl, very trusting and believes in her heart that everyone is capable of good. Millennia is 26, a kind woman who seems out of place on a battlefield. She seems to have a personal reason for joining the army. Zyga. He is 18, a Darkson, tends to get carried away in the heat of the moment. Raz's right-hand man, or so he claims. Scott. Age 24, a simple man who takes all things literally and follows orders to the letter without question. All right. Well, sure, Connor's next. He's 30, passionate and devoted to writing his book, but quick to make excuses for his lack of progress. Neej. She's 16, a timid girl with confidence issues. She is easily flustered and blushes at the slightest provocation. Aladdin is 24, a self-proclaimed feminist and protector of women. He fights with his trusty sniper rifle, Sergeant Isabella. All right. Eileen is 16, sociable and reliable, sensitive to the needs of others, always ready to help, and a competent soldier. Rebecca is 24, has a cold personality, brusque, and not much inclined to socializing with her peers around the squad. Allard is 28, a man who loves tanks with a passion, can usually identify parts and models on sight alone. Brittany is 24, a single mother who others turn to for life advice, particularly the younger women of the squad. Jean is a born soldier with the incredible physique, usually tries to solve most of her problems with brute force. Jimmy, 32, a helpful veteran soldier with good advice, but being deployed with him somehow makes people uneasy. Kygel is 60, short-tempered and prone to long rants. He's kind and protective behind his bluster, especially to new recruits. Lauren is 18, very passionate about his cause, brave and believes in justice in his eyes. Right makes might. Ferrier, 17, a girl who hides her face behind an iron mask. Whatever her reason, she avoids talking about it. Florette is 21, serious, straightforward, and somewhat stubborn, for better or worse, but typically the latter. Emmy is 21, was working as a mercenary and bounty hunter, can be cunning, violent, and coldly opportunistic. Viola is 20, a vicious fighter. She lives for combat and fights in constant search for even greater strength. And Ryan is 63, a skilled mercenary. Rumors say that he appeared in large-scale wars and leads his side to victory. Okay, so that was personnel. Luckily, we don't have nearly as many weapons. We have the Leonfield. Oh, of course, it's longer, though. Standard issue rifle developed by Edinburgh's Western Kelvin Company, a storied model of rifle initially issued over 40 years ago. Its design has gone through multiple changes and multiple offshoots models since. It remains a favorite of Edinburgh's military and citizenry alike. Squad is equipped with the newest model, incorporating semi-automatic fire. Even with all its attachments, its weight is manageable thanks to primarily being composed of wood. Robinson, produced by the Walt Ordnance Company, the United States of Vinland, machine guns in the European War I were too bulky and heavy to be portable. After the war, engineers confronted the idea of machine guns for foot soldiers, and so the Robinson was created as the world's first true submachine gun. Many other models were produced afterward, but the Robinson's easy mass production made it a lasting staple of military issuance. It's a common favorite among the soldiers and was informally called the Robbie gun. The M2EQ, an anti-tank lance produced by the United States of Vinland's Federal Alchemic Company, a well-rounded weapon that fires rocket-propelled projectiles. It was designed to be held under an arm while firing. For stability, a protective cover keeps the user from being burned when firing rockets. Originally designed for two-man team, it has been adjusted for individual use, aided by the development of a clip on the back. The LF Wasp, a sniper rifle made by Edinburgh's own Western Kelvin Company. It's a bolt-action rifle boasting high accuracy compared to other lean-field offshoots. Its original schematics are based off civilian hunting rifles. The standard issue rifle for snipers of the 32nd Armored Ranger Battalion, LF, is an abbreviation of Lenfield. Sanders. The Sanders was an infantry support weapon developed by Vinland's Forest National Arms Factory, as the army could not support an artillery vehicle for every infantry unit. This portable grenade launcher became an invaluable alternative for the soldiers on the front lines. The downsizing of the mortar size is thanks to a Ragnite compression firing device designed by Riley Miller, military engineer. Though these developments, a mortar once requiring a full team of operation can now be carried by a single soldier. The F1 grenade, produced by the Vios Republic's San Diaz Arms Factory. Thanks to its mass production, many were exported to other countries, including Edinburgh and Vinland, the latter of which managed to develop their own grenades based on the type F1. It has been labeled with a great number of nicknames from all the countries it has been exported to, but the popular choice seems to be calling it by the fruit-based names like the pomegranate, the ragnapple, and the boomberry. I like boomberry. The VBWF, similar in basic construction to those used elsewhere, this friction fuse hand grenade is the official standard within the Imperial Army's European territory. Though the time delay until detonation can be adjusted via the dial or screw on the side of the device, most users were hesitant to deviate from the timing that had been drilled into them over the course of training. The Hafen is an offshoot of a Vinland-made medium tank known as the Minute. Squad E's version has been modified to Miles' specifications. It was then named the Hafen after Cloud's home town in the Principality of Gallia. Cannon rounds are stored on the side of the tank, an artifact of its outdated design. In some cases, enemy fire would ignite the rounds, causing explosions. The Hafen's modifications account for this design flaw, fortifying the tank's sides with denser armor plating. A Federate tank, commonly known as the Minute, these made up the bulk of the Federation tank forces. Low in cost and easy to manufacture, this model was finalized just before the war's beginning. The name derives from the Minutemen, civilian soldiers in Vinland's war for independence. The gathered tanks evoked images of Vinland's amassed colonial militiamen, and to parallel their namesake, who were said to be combat ready only in a minute's notice, the army could assemble a great number of these tanks quickly. And then the light tank. Though originally developed before the outbreak of the European War II, these tanks saw considerable use throughout it, taking the stage just as the tanks began to see use as a highly mobile unit able to work in conjunction with troops on foot. This model came to define the epoch. By the beginning of the European War II, however, they were showing signs of age and were outclassed by Federation counterparts in terms of frontal firepower. Oh, please tell me there's not a whole lot of the glossary. All right. I'm not going to go through these. I'm going to pause on each one so that you guys can read it if you want. I'm going to read over it real quick to myself, and we shall go from there. Okay, you know what? These aren't going to be too bad. This episode's going to be a little bit longer than I wanted, but that's okay. I also feel like I'm running out of breath, but that's because I'm talking so fast. So, Europa, as a resource-rich part of the largest landmass in the Northern Hemisphere, this continent has inspired those with dreams of dominance for millennia. In ancient times, the Valkyria managed to unite Europa under their rule, giving rise to a number of kingdoms. Later divisions arose as leaders within each kingdom chose to splinter off to form new nations, and it wasn't long before the campaigns for conquest began. By the 1800s, the balance of power lay split between the flat European Imperial Alliance and the Atlantic Federation, with the small nations in their shadows left to weather the waves caused by the clash of these two global behemoths. The Atlantic Federation, the product of an alliance among a large collective of West European democracies known informally as the Federation. Popular uprisings, spurred on by the late 18th century Industrial Revolution, created many new democracies. The nascent empire represented a common threat, motivating a mutual agreement among these infant republics. Though an elected head counselor acts as their chief executive, unanimous agreements are rare among the constituents, meaning that enacting measures can take months. Through a series of secret alliances and gains won by extortion and blackmail put the Federation ahead of the Empire in terms of political power, they have yet to decisively beat them in battle. The East European Imperial Alliance, a collection of nations united under the rule of the East European Emperor, commonly referred to as the Empire. The Industrial Revolution that occurred when Ragnite was discovered as a useful energy source saw the nations of Eastern Europa, pioneers in machine technology, rise to power. Already tightly bound by a network of royal marriages, they soon joined hands in a formal alliance. While not technically an autocracy, its empire or emperor enjoys limitless authority, and because the empire never underwent a social revolution, it still adheres to some aspects of feudalism. Many of its citizens thus harbor conservative views and strong bias against Darksons. The Principality of Gallia. Full of nature and rich in Ragnite ore, Gallia borders the Empire to the east and the Federation on its southern edge. This small Central European nation is a constitutional monarchy ruled by House Rangris, Gallia's dynastic sovereigns. Despite its small size of 38,567 square kilometers and a population of only 4,320,000, it boasts a rich and unique culture. Its geographical position puts it under constant threat of invasion, leading to a national position of armed neutrality and a policy of universal conscription. Those who wish to fight for their home, however, tend to join the militaries of other allied countries. Gallian squads are known for their bravery and skill. The United Kingdoms of Edinburgh, a small island nation less than 40 kilometers removed from the mainland of Europa by way of a channel to its northwest. In Edinburgh's lengthy history spanning over 1,000 years, it was the first country to have a people's revolution and develop heavy industry. Before the USV and the Empire emerged as superpowers, it was the greatest nation in the world and still holds sway in the Federation. Its military is held in especially high regard for being better trained and more disciplined than its allies. Thus, it is often relied upon to fight the Federation's fiercest battles, which draws in people seeking tougher fights and led to the creation of many squads comprised of foreign nationals. Okay, this may take a little while. Hafen. A Gallian city near the Imperial border surrounded by mountains, greenery, and streams. Although generically a quiet and peaceful town, its night sky comes alive during the Starchild Festival, an annual holiday full of song and dance. The economic hardships after EW1 drove many of its stores and factories out of business. Its local economy took an even harder hit when the Miller Company was burned down by an unidentified arsonist. Over time, the old town area gave way to slums full of war orphans and those who lost their homes in the razing of Hafen. With the ever-present threat of Imperial invasion hanging overhead, this formerly prosperous town is in decline. Fort Crest, a military fortress located on the west of the Empire, originally a 16th century castle, it was outfitted for modern war at the start of EW2 to create an impromptu defense outpost. It's surrounded by a deep moat, making it inaccessible to tanks, except from the stone bridge leading to the main gate. Equipped with turrets along the walls and outfitted with a 21-centimeter howitzer, the repurposed fortress became a major obstacle in the Federation's advance. Despite being staffed by loyal subjects of the Empire willing to die for their motherland, an elite ranger squad armed with a portable mortar managed to take out their artillery and capture the fort in the name of Operation Northern Cross. The Lindenberg Base. As the Eastern Theater grew in scope, so too did its logistical demand. To meet the supply needs, the Federation Army built a massive forward operating base on the enemy's western front. This FOB was outfitted with quarters and housing for over 3,000 soldiers, including showers and rec rooms, and a hangar that could store over 100 tanks. Its facilities also held the ammunition, fuel, and rations required for a large-scale operation, along with a refueling station for military vehicles and ships. Operation Northern Cross was expected to be a long campaign, and for the soldiers of the Edinburgh Army, it was a vital lifeline in their fight against the Imperial Army's logistical advantage. EC, or the European calendar. This calendar, used across Europe, has at its origin the Valkyria conquest of the continent. For this reason, it is also known as the Valkyrian calendar. Each year is counted in relation to the year the Darkson people were subdued, and Europa was united as a continent. Years preceding the unification are denoted as BC, or before conquest. The First European War. Friction between the Federation and the Empire over Ragnite resources escalated into a continent-wide war, EW1. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th century led to a high demand for Ragnite, putting Europa's twin giants in a race for resources. When the Crown Prince of the Empire was assassinated at the start of the 20th century, tensions spiraled into all-out war. Despite the Imperial forces using newly developed tanks, hostilities soon became bogged down in fruitless trench warfare, and the two exhausted powers ultimately signed a ceasefire agreement. During the war, Galleon's militia, led by General Belgan Gunther's tank corps, foiled an Imperial evasion attempt. We know about Belgan. He was Welkin's father. The Second European War. Beginning with an Imperial incursion into Federation land, EW2 quickly engulfed the entire continent, becoming the largest scale war in Europa's history. Though EW1 ended in a stalemate, both powers had spent the intervening years stockpiling arms and preparing for the inevitable return to hostilities. After a 20-year pause, the Empire began the invasion anew, taking 3 of the Federation's border republics in quick succession. The Federation responded with a formal declaration of war. It wasn't long before the forces of both superpowers began to spill across the borders into neighboring nations. Soon, all of Europa was caught in a war that dwarfed all those in memory. The War of the Valkyria. The ancient Valkyria united all of Europa after subjugating the Darksons in this half-legendary war of conquest. By circa 30 BC, the Darksons are said to have ravaged much of Europa, wielding the dark arts to harness the destructive potential of Ragnite in their heedless power struggles. Suddenly, an immigrant population known as the Valkyria came from the north, bearing a divine power in the form of lances and shields bathed in blue light. Using these to halt the Darkson rampage, they brought peace to Europa, according to inscriptions found across European ruins. In addition to unifying the land under their rule, the Valkyria are credited for the birth of modern European culture. The Federation force... Oh my gosh. Okay. The Atlantic Federation's usually united nations often had difficulties coming to a consensus. In crisis, many military representatives advocated their own respective governments' agendas over the collective needs of their allies. These power struggles led to logistical delays and frontline casualties. Some say a united federation would not have been so hard pressed by the Imperial Army's superior numbers and resources if they hadn't been stymied by the United States of Vinland's lack of open support. However, leaders in the Second European War had learned from their past mistakes. Months of backdoor deals and secret treaties finally culminated in Operation Northern Cross, intended to bring the war to a swift end. The Imperial forces, led by the Emperor, the Empire's politics are still largely controlled by the aristocracy. Their military is no exception, with several of the highest positions held by the Emperor's blood relatives and closest affiliates. Operating under a code of conduct with roots in the medieval ideal of knightly chivalry, troops are expected to give their fealty and their lives to serve the East European Emperor. The Imperial Army was the first to make and employ tanks in place of armored cavalry units, which reshaped the nature of European warfare and secured the Empire's overwhelming military superiority for decades. Squad E, 1st Company of the 32nd Armored Ranger Battalion, 1st Combat Brigade, 101st Division, Edinburgh Army. Their ranks were mainly foreigners in the United Kingdom of Edinburgh, in particularly the Principality of Gallia. In an unprecedented feat, Squad E enrolled in the Ranger Course together, then passed as an entire unit. As such, upon integration into the Ranger Corps, they kept both their E call sign and their commander, Lieutenant Claude Wallace. Led by a tank named after the Gallian hometown of Hafen, these soldiers gradually developed a reputation as a ragtag bunch of eccentric aces to whom no mission was too small to take and no mission was too big to handle. Tank. At the turn of the 20th century, a time when trench combat was the primary form of warfare, these armored vehicles were created to breach defensive lines. Their design employs a Ragnoline fuel combustion engine in which energy is harnessed from the explosive ignition of liquid Ragnite. Byproducts include a distinctive blue light and extreme heat, requiring the addition of a radiator. Originally used to cross trenches as foot soldier support, economic and technological advances have seen tanks grow to fill a number of combat roles. After the Empire used highly mobile attack tanks in EW1, all of Europa developed new vehicles, leading to the diverse array of models seen today. News articles. Read news articles to keep up to date with major historical events of EW2. Well, there's only 3, and I don't think these are going to be that long. No, they're not. Okay. On the Second Federation military headquarters officially announced history's greatest counterattack, a full-on offensive against the Empire, and one that has been rumored among the politically informed for some time now. After all the military losses of the Empire's hands, the Federation is now staking it all in this one grand assault. Given the sensitivity of the nature of the operation, details have yet to be announced, but we've received reports that millions of soldiers are on the march towards Imperial soil. However, the Federation seems to be slowed by the bureaucracy of its alliances, while the Empire's dictatorial rule allows them swift decision-making. Astute readers should also note that the Federation's initial focus on defense led to spreading the military forces too thin, which worsened their odds against the Empire's superior numbers. With so many Federation territories falling to the Empire, this could be their only chance to turn tide in this war. The best invention since tanks. You can't discuss the history of war without discussing the history of weaponry. Even beyond the Federation and the Empire, nations across the globe and their brilliant engineers are devising new weapon technology each day. Some inventions even have the potential to reshape the way battles are fought, such as our forces' new portable mortars. These mortars can launch shells into the air, which unleash a powerful detonation upon hitting the ground. Their raw power and easy portability have both civilian and military commentators alike singing their praises. The advent of tanks and machine guns elevated warfare to a level never seen before, and these mortars may do the same. The unbreakable crest has been broken. On the 10th, the Federation military announced that they were successful in capturing Fort Crest, an Imperial stronghold on the western region of the Empire. Despite fierce Imperial resistance and Allied casualties, Federation forces persisted through dire odds and seized victory, however slim. While this was undeniably a logistical blow to the Imperial forces, the victory may be more significant as a much-needed symbol of hope. After so many losses against the Empire's military might, this success may do to raise our soldiers' morale, and we'll be eagerly listening at the times for news of more Allied victories to come. We should only have like 3. Meeting certain conditions in combat may earn you medals. You can view any medals you've earned in the Decorations tab. Yep, we have 3. The Crest Service Medal, given to participants in the battle to capture Fort Crest. We have the Combat Medal, given to those who have performed rescues at great personal risk during battle. Really, that was great personal risk? Last battle? Okay. And then the Meritorious Service Medal, presented by the Federation to those who have contributed greatly to victory in battles. The Federation flag design adorns this reward. Cool. Statistics. I'm at least going to go in here. Statistics include your ranking and your shortest turn count for each battle. Yep, all A. And tutorial on tutorials. Revisit the tutorial section to review useful information and game features. Consult the tutorials if you get stuck. Now, do I actually have to go through these? Yep. Okay, so I'm going to go through these off camera. There's other stuff that's probably in there that I'll go through later. For now, we are going to go to the mess hall and see what we can get done here. And I know this episode's been almost an hour long.
If I didn't know any better, I'd think you just lost a battle.
I'm glad that we won, obviously, but when I see my comrades in arms lying wounded out there...
We're not in boot camp anymore. This is war. If that's all it takes to get you down, you won't stand a chance when the bombs really come flying.
I know that, alright? War means blood. War means death. Still, that doesn't make it any less painful to leave behind a comrade you know you could have saved.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but tending to the wounded is the medic's responsibility, not ours.
Sure, except when they're too far away to make it in time. Sometimes you can run as fast as you can to get help and still get there too late.
Can't argue with that. If only we could relay the urgency of the situation to HQ. Perhaps like this?
Tutorial Mess Hall. Talk to your squad mates at the mess hall in order to learn new orders. Learning new orders require experience but will grant an edge in combat. Learning meta request costs 5,000 experience? No. Can I come back and learn it later?
I thought we were on the cusp of a pretty good order. Well, let me know if you change your mind.
Okay. Now, if I go back...
Still interested?
Okay, so I can come back and get it. And until I get it, I can't get any other orders.
I thought we...
Okay. Well... Here's what I'm going to do. We're going to continue to the next battle. However, it is already really late. I still haven't had dinner. I'm supposed to do 2 episodes today. So I'm going to cut this episode in half. I don't know how I'm going to stick that in there just yet. We'll have to figure out a way to do it.
Glad to see you're on time, Claude. Toured the base yet?
Yeah. Compared to the old camps, this is heaven on earth.
Excellent. I expect you to put all this funding to good use.
Sir, the commanders of squads A through I have assembled.
Then let's get down to business. I know Squad E just arrived, but we already have marching orders. Our mission is to capture a small town northeast of here.
According to reports, Rain is one of the enemy's most valued comm centers.
Which is why it's being guarded by a tank platoon.
That complicates things. Squad E is mostly infantry. Do we have the right equipment for urban and anti-tank warfare?
Don't worry. This time you'll have fire support. Once you infiltrate the city, simply relay the tank's coordinates to the field artillery team.
I see you already thought this through.
We also received intel that the Empire is inflating their numbers with decoys. If we can discern the real tanks from the fake, Rain is as good as ours.
Excellent work, Lieutenant. I'm glad I can depend on you.
You flatter me, sir. Impressed? Control info and you control the war.
Joint ops, huh? Coordinating with the fire support unit is gonna make or break this mission.
Try to minimize collateral damage. We plan on repurposing their gear for our own comm center. Minerva, you are to lure the enemy troops as far away from the city as possible.
Consider it done.
Squad E will then sneak in and gather intel for the field artillery team.
Understood, sir.
All right. Well, this sounds fun. Let's keep going all the way up until the next mission actually spawns.
Yo, I hear we're moving out already. Oh, shame. I just scored a hot date with a Navy babe.
You wish. You got shut down. Hard.
You were watching?
Raz, what you do in your spare time is up to you. But when you're on duty, you represent the army.
Who are you, my mom?
Feels like it sometimes. Anyway, you said we'd have fire support. Does that mean it's a joint operation?
You guessed it. Hey, looks like you're still alive.
I'm glad you're okay, too.
They told me you'll be commanding my team.
Oh, really? Well then, I look forward to...
Spare me. I already requested a transfer.
Oh.
But orders are orders. Until my transfer goes through, you're in charge. Not that I expect real leadership from a scaredy Claude.
What do you know, Riley come lately? You just got here.
All bark and no bite as always. You mind shutting up while the grown-ups talk?
What the hell? It's been 10 years and that's how you greet an old friend?
Hi there, Riley. I know it's not my business, but Lieutenant Wallace is a great commander. None of us would have made it this far without him. We trust him with our lives. And since we'll be working together, maybe you should,
I should trust him? I'm sure it's all sunshine and rainbows while you're winning, but when the chips are down, running away is probably all he could manage.
Cut it out, Riley. The Empire took your family from you, not Claude. He's grown up since then. Judge him for who he is now.
Leave it be, Kai.
But...
It's all right. Words can't change the past. I'll just have to rebuild.
Rebuild what?
Our trust. Riley, I'm gonna show you how much I've changed. At least give me a chance to prove myself.
Let's make one thing clear. Unless it's for the mission, I do not take orders from you.
Riley...
As she runs away.
Give me a break.
All right, so here's the battle. We're going to start with this next episode, which I guess is going to be, let's see here, Saturday? Since I'm going to split this into 2 episodes. So we'll start a new battle on Saturday, and then the plan from there, since now we've gotten everything up to date, essentially, is to, at the end of each battle, we're going to go back to HQ, do what we can, go over any glossary information that changed, view all the episodes to the next battle. If the battle takes an entire 30 minutes or more, then we obviously won't do that, but that's the current plan. So yeah, I am going to end today's double episode off here. I guess not double episode, today's half episode, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to end off my recording. I hope you guys enjoyed these 2 episodes. If you did, definitely hit those like buttons down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and checking out some of my other content. And as always, I will catch you folks in the next episode. Stay frosty out there.